All right, I guess it picks a new random set of humans to be on the screen each time I change screens like this. So, Jason, you've now made it up to the top screen here, man. I don't know how this worked out, but here we are. All right, I'm going to start like I always start with Beard Banter. This is Beard Banter episode 60. So I've done this for the last 3 or 4 years, just whenever I feel like it. We have a stream. And I'm super happy to have episode 60 with a lot of my best friends, like the people that I certainly spend the most time with in my life and speak with. So we're going to go through, let everybody kind of kick off and introduce themselves if they're here. And I lost Tom. Got turned off. Sorry, Tom. Turned off Lawrence off.
Tom.
What a jerk. All right, here we are. Let's go in order. Wes, you want to introduce yourself for anybody that doesn't know who you are out there?
What up? Yeah, I'm Wes Spencer. Man, happy holidays to everyone. Really glad to be on here. I'm a friend of Matt Lee, and that's how I made it here, I suppose. So great to be with you, one of the co-founders of Empath. But I think more than that, really excited to be with this cadre of amazing humans. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and address this, Stephen. I don't intend to keep it at 30 minutes, so let's just solve that problem right now. Okay,
be what it is.
Ash, your turn.
Hey, yeah, Ashley Cooper. I'm also a friend of Matt's. We spend a lot of time bonding over our different perspectives, but how they also really uniquely align with AI and neurodivergence and all the fun stuff. I am the COO at Cyberdrain and happy to be here.
Got to call out for the dictator. And also, Ash, I love that we often disagree on things, too. It's fun. The discourse is one of the ones that stands out the most to me is, we'll never solve this problem. And Ash is like, no, here's already 3 things that are solving that problem. Okay, I'll shut up. Ash,
we just have to solve. We'll never solve connecting them.
Yeah. Also, Abby won a cool thing that Tech ID Manager did where they gave away $1,000 and we did like 5 questions that people answered. And he crushed it on those. So just shout out to
Abby's the best. Hey, Abby.
So good. All right, continue. Jason, does anybody not know you at this point in life?
Hi, there's a lot of people that don't know me. Jason Slagle. I hang out with Matt too much, but more coming.
Yeah,
I think.
To say, like, a lot more coming. Coming up. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I run an MSP and I like to yell at people.
It's true. And a charity. And a charity.
Yeah.
You get to yell at people and then smile at people.
I get to well, that'll come up during my little question thing.
Your rant. Yeah. Dom, next.
I'm Dom. I'm also a friend of Matt's. And I don't know. I just learned that I'm amongst the top 0.1% of ChatGPT users, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Jason? Jason, this is going to go right into your pitch. I used to talk about Try Hack Me like that with that kind of love, And now here we find ourselves.
I don't know if it's love yet, to be clear. We're still figuring it out.
I haven't done Try Hack Me in a couple years. I wonder what percentage I'm in.
I bet, and I don't want to get off on a tangent, I bet they also seemingly lie to everyone about your percentage to make you feel better about yourself. But I digress. Okay. All right, let's keep going. John, what's up, buddy? You have no banner under your name. You're like Matt Lee, just a bannerless.
I have nothing in my office.
Yeah.
Nothing anymore.
Are you moving?
I'm redesigning the office, but yeah, I have no identity whatsoever. I'm a catalyst, and I'm part of the 0.1%. That's who I am.
That's awesome. Hard flex, bro. Hard flex.
Are we all catalysts?
I think we all were catalysts. Yeah, I don't know about Wes. Were you a catalyst in the LinkedIn post?
It said navigator. I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Oh.
All right. No, I've never met a navigator.
I don't.
It's the
What does it
first
mean?
non-catalyst I've ever met.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. All right, Tom. And you have to answer. Were you a catalyst? What were you on LinkedIn? And by the way, Tom, I haven't told anybody this. You were my most followed on LinkedIn. I didn't. I was too embarrassed to post that, so I just wanted to say it here.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know if it told me if I was the catalyst. I already forgot. Some of that has fallen out of my head already. So I just know I was in the top 1% of people chatting with it. Apparently, I used it a lot more than I thought. But I guess I'm here because I'm friends with Matt Lee because I send him lots of memes.
That's true. Can confirm.
We have a good meme exchange
meme
going.
exchange.
So
Yeah, quality. Well, I don't know if it's an exchange. It's one directional. Like I'm a consumer of Tom memes.
Aren't we all?
your memes, your consumer memes is a good relationship we got going on.
Yeah. Okay,
Isn't that all Tom does?
Sometimes I wonder.
In fact, I don't know that I've had a talk I've given that doesn't have a Tom Lawrence meme in it. I think that's a real statement. All right. So the purpose of this, I wanted to get us all together. If we did this way, it would just get chaotic. So we're going to try to break it out and let each person have a moment to answer each question. Feel free to chime in from the chat. I already see you guys here. Hey, Abby and Steven and everybody that's here. So we're going to go, and I'll just go in the order they are on my screen. So let's see what random order does when we come over here. All right. And I also forgot that as a producer, I have to go to the part that lets me change who's on the stream. So I'm going to do that, I think. Let's see if I can not suck too much. Let's start then. Wes Spencer, you're top on the list. No, Ashley is. I'm going to do it in this order. So I'm killing everybody else here. You guys get to see how this sausage is made terribly by me. All right, Ash, welcome. Question 1. What are you the most proud of yourself, personally, professionally, and of the SMB serving channel? So I want to start of like reflections of what you're most proud of. And everybody back in the green room, think about the same thing. So yours is the floor. Ashley, go.
I think a lot of this is all like a big conglomerate blob of the sameness for me, all 3 of those.
Sure.
I'm proud that we have, I'm gonna sound like such a broken record, but like just genuinely, I'm so proud that we've been engaging in adopting community so much more as a group. And so I'm personally proud of my persistence and my continued, like weathering the, oh, you're just a hippie kind of mentality that I've been like living through in a lot of ways, where I've been seeing kind of a lot of those points come to fruition of like, I've been saying this kind of thing. And I'm not saying that I am a little bit of a hippie hipster, but I'm proud of the efforts that everybody has been kind of recognizing the long game, like, hey, like trust, belonging, they belong at the table. That's really cool. Professionally, I'm proud of everything I've learned when it comes to, like AI and programming and automation and how to tie these things together. I'm building these things up. Like what the terminology is, that's been the hardest part. And so that's something that I'm proud of.
I'll give you this real quick. Actually, go ahead and finish because I don't want to cut you off. What about the SMB channel? Pretty much the role of it. Okay.
That was it, yeah.
Here's what I will say. You probably have dabbled in more breadth of stuff using AI than anybody I know. I would argue you definitely have, to your point of saying you're proud of yourself for that leaning in and really starting to understand those things. If you think about it, anybody watching, this is like a brand new world. All the protocols we're talking about are being invented right now. All the challenges, the issues, the context, no pun intended on context window problems, but all of that's being built right now. And Ash, you've definitely leaned in on that. All right. Any closing words on question 1 and we'll go to the next person?
No. I'm also proud of being 0.1% of the starting users. I feel like that must be like when ChatGPT first came out, if you signed up that first week.
I was a 1%er, so I'm only in that 1%. So I'm in the loserville in that scenario. So that's all right. All right, Ash, with coming in strong with basically proud of the adoption of community and the adoption and growth of, I think in some ways, the tide and neurodivergence in that way too, and just all the efforts there. So yeah, I would agree. I'm going to let Jason define community after this though. So we'll have fun with that. Next up, Wes Spencer. Ash, thank you so much. We'll have you back for question 2. All right. Wes, what's up, buddy?
Thanks for not asking me what community is.
I didn't
Spare
want
me
to
one,
that
brother.
Spot, man. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You got enough on your plate.
Oh, how's life, man? It's been good. Okay. So can I go personal first?
Go. Yeah, your order,
All
man.
right.
Dealer's choice.
I'm glad you gave me a couple days to think about this the weekend, because I wanted to have a little bit more insightful thoughts on this. And sometimes for me, like what's more insightful is just being a bit more vulnerable. So I want to be vulnerable.
Do it.
Past like 4 or 5 years have been hard. Like there's been great moments, don't get me wrong, right? But I tend to hide, like I tend to be one of those people that's sort of like grit and bear with it and just put another foot in front of the other and all those kind of things. I think this year has been really good. I think I've protected my energy just a lot better this year. I think I've found some ways to slow life down a little bit, to appreciate the help of others more than I think I've ever done before. And I think the past few years have really been a much more of a struggle with that, Matt.
Sure.
And I'm not saying that it's going to slow down more or speed up more next year, but I feel like I found a better resting middle ground, Middle West. It's been much more just mentally and emotionally healthy for me. Okay. And I am just very thankful of that.
You know what's funny? Not to get off on too large of a tangent, but this is my show, so I can for a second. I think that I'm a year or 2 behind you, maybe in the curve of my own role in life and what I'm doing in this channel and what I'm doing in this community, but also in that, like, I just did the math. I'm at 185 presentations this year. I am absolutely making decisions to try to protect the me that exists next year. So I would share that personal moment with you, and that I'm probably behind that. And I'd love to think about your statement that you said, I don't know that I stay that way. I don't know if I paraphrase wrong, but I mean,
Yeah, no.
you may speed back up, but maybe that slowdown year is really valuable. So you may have just given me like a lot of hope for my own thoughts of this, just if nothing else, Wes.
Yeah.
What about professionally and the SMB serving channel real quick?
I think not chasing the hype cycle so much. This goes
Okay.
to kind of what Ashley was talking about too, is we've all gone through the past few years of like, what is AI going to do to all of us, to the jobs, to the future, to, of getting through the hyperbole. I feel like this year, especially like Q3, Q4, we've normalized more. And I think it's human nature to be like disrupted on anything and then eventually find our medium and then rest in that medium. And so I think we've done that. I know for me professionally, not chasing too deep into the hype and really staying more towards the substance has been good. I think everyone you've got on this group today is also representative of that. Not speaking all this wild hyperbole, understanding that I think deeper than just, chasing the coolest, neatest thing and saying, AI is going to XY, which is going to outsource our help desk and we'll never need help ever again. None of us have done that in this group. We've all understood there's more substance and meat behind all of this, and kind of keeping that boat steady. I'm proud of all of us for that. And I would tag the channel in on that too, because there's so many good people I think have done a great job of that.
There are people making names for themselves in the channel about their, how do I take this and actually get crap done? How do I actually do this? And there's been a conflation of the time curves too, right? Like the quality of AI and its use and the things we can get out of it have gotten more normalized as the, and more effective, I think, in my mind. We'll let others pick apart that statement. I'm about to get punched in the face because the next person up is Jason Slagle. So let's bring Jason up to like just pick apart my rosy world of AI, I suppose. Wes, I'll have you back for question 2. I'll see you in a sec. Thanks, buddy. All right, Jason, go ahead, buddy. What's up, man?
It's not that unrosy. Like, I mean, I'm like literally like my background task right now is like I've literally got an MCP hooked to end-to-end helping me troubleshoot a workflow. So
sure, fair.
Like,
fair.
Yeah, well, let's see. I'll run through this. Personally, I think I have to reflect a little bit on what Wes said there, that I've done a little bit better job this year of protecting things. I've actually said no to a couple things. And really started to try to focus where my time, and it's energy, as he stated. It's trying to protect energy. So I will say yes to 100% of the stuff that brings me energy, like hanging out with you or Ash or any of the others. And start saying no to, stuff where it's like a constant fight, like along those lines of getting spicy and fiery. There, I almost didn't go to IT Nation Connect. Right. I had some struggles with some of the stuff there going on, and some struggles with the direction I feel like, and I know I'm not alone, that ConnectWise may be driving some things. So I almost didn't go. In the end, I got hassled by people that do bring me energy into going. So I went.
How does that math work out? Wait a minute. I'm trying to understand that math exchange. Is that a plus minus, or is there some math?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's in the end, I decided it didn't matter. Like I was going to the event to hang out with people that bring me energy, and not going to the event to support or speak or anything. Professionally, the CyberEyes, I think I would be remiss if I didn't call that out. That we've done good work. We did we recorded, and I saw you released it, an update on Friday about what we've got done this year. I'm proud of what we did. Right, I think that always want to do more. Right, like, and it's really easy to be harsh on ourselves and look back and go, man, I could have done so much more. Right,
there's a large failure bucket there.
Right, like, but like, you know what? Like, I this is really funny because I use a executive coach named Kira. In my last meeting in the year with her, 100% I did, Kelvin. I will succumb to your peer pressure almost all of the time. I met with her for the last time this year coming into this. And one of the things that she had me doing is, there's like this whole list of, it'll be blurry when I hold it up because of camera focus, but a whole list of things that she wanted me to focus in on the tasks. And I sent her a note yesterday that said, the work in progress, I consider it living, but like, looking it over, I feel like it's too little and too basic. And so she challenged that hardcore today and said, if you finished all of these things on this list, how would you feel at the end of the year? And I said, I'd feel great. I feel like I accomplished some stuff. She's like, then why are you adding more?
Fair.
So
Well, bring it to, so professionally, you've got it on track. It sounds like we've
Yep.
got the charity. And I will say, accident or otherwise, we looked up during our planning for that last meeting for the charity and said, we accomplished everything we said we'd do in our January meeting.
yeah, with the exception of funding, which we may still accomplish.
Yeah,
So.
there's time. We got 6 more days. We're good, man. We got good work done.
Yeah, I mean, we
yeah.
did good there, right? Like, I feel like, right, and I feel like we're serving the SMB channel there directly or indirectly, right? It's like we're trying to serve the industry.
Since you brought it up, bring it home. What are you proud of the SMB serving channel? Then in that last piece.
I mean, I've got stuff that I'm not proud of that we'll talk about in the second half of this.
Okay, fair.
But
Stick
I feel
around.
Like this is the year where maybe they stopped lying so much, right? Like you and I give a lot of talks where the whole room raised their hands, and I feel like they raised their hands because they didn't want to be the only one not raising their hands.
I would agree.
I feel like that's maybe stopped. And
I would agree. I got a lot of surprising answers to questions that that challenged my belief in this last year. I would agree with that.
Yeah, cool. I'll go there. Go next.
I could have done so much with what hours?
Yeah,
you're not wrong, Kelvin. Like we can't make hours. All right.
I was Kelvin out on this, by the way.
You know what? Listen, I didn't say brought all Matt's friends. I said I brought the friends that I thought of first about this. Now you're making me feel like crap for my other friends like Kelvin who weren't brought, and I'm sure others that I could have brought on.
Well, I figured it was a time zone thing.
It was really just I got to this many humans instead of too many humans. So, all right, brother. Thank you, man. I'll bring Dom on next, and we'll see you in just a sec.
Oh,
what's
buddy?
Up? Man, it's then John Harden and Tom Lawrence next, and then we'll be through the first rotation of the batting order.
Okay. So, all right. Man.
Tom, you got to hit a home run, bro.
All right.
You're in closing out the batting order, Tom, so just be ready. All right, Dom, what's up, buddy?
Let's see. Personally, that's a hard question. I'm a big separator of church and state. So these both can be somewhat professional, but I've spent a lot of time in really the second half of the year going down this like signal versus noise rabbit hole, right?
Interesting.
Like
personally,
podcasts and and professionally,
Okay.
About like where am I spending my time and is that the most valuable place for me to spend my time? Because to Kelvin's points, there's only so many hours and you don't get any more.
Sure.
And I've had a lot of success with that. Like my calendar's cleaner. I feel a lot more or a lot less exhausted coming off of work lately. So that's landed well. I think professionally it's been a crazy year, right? We've it's just been nuts, as you know. But I think pulling in that same vein, we've gotten a lot done organizationally in my day job and in the security work we're doing, and I feel like there's a path there. And it felt like, to Wes's point, it's kind of one thing at a time, or grit and bear it, and now I feel like there's a next step, and that it's been a minute, so that's great. And let's see, SMB serving channel. I think I
want to give this context.
Yeah.
You probably see an interesting subset barometer because of your work with pro services and the types of requests that you get, which in my mind gives a really good indication of the modalities of what they're looking for, the work they're doing, their skill set. Like there's lots there to unpack. So I want to give context to the audience that that's your viewpoint. So that's
terrifying. I think, it's interesting. I've been on this tangent for years now about tech debt. And are you paying tech debt or are you moving tech debt, transferring to balance, right? And
bankrupting that company full of tech debt and just walking on to the next one while it burns in the dumpster.
100%.
Other models,
perhaps. We're still seeing more balance transfer than pay down, but we are seeing more pay down. We're seeing more projects to modernize identity, right? And with the AI elephant, we're seeing more projects about like, what data do I have? What does Purview look like? What is right? And they're getting beyond the basics. And I think the next question is more about whether or not they have the basics solved. But I think we're getting into conversations that never would have started before, right? That if I would have started, I would have killed deals, and now they're coming to us, and that's
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty proud of that, right?
May-
Seeing deeper questions.
maybe a simple example is like, hey, Dom, I need you to virtualize this SQL server and move it in the entire domain controller, and it's
Still plenty of that.
2003
Yeah.
up to Azure, versus, hey, Dom, can we move this to SQL services, rework the front end, add in modern authentication? Like, those are the questions where if you had brought that up in the past, they'd have been like, we're not paying that many hours. We're not doing all this
Right.
stuff. Like, this is not what we're
Right.
doing. We just need to move a SQL server. Like, bro.
Right. Or even
Is
just
that kinda your
identity,
point?
right? We're seeing less domain controllers. We saw Microsoft finally solve the Kerberos Edge files issue.
Sure.
So we're seeing less need for domain controllers and that being adopted into, like you said, modern identity. And the fact that the question's even being asked, and we see plenty of it where there's like, no, there's too much junk here. You're going to have
Sure.
a domain controller. But the fact that they're asking and they want that is the change,
Yeah. for
right?
sure.
And now I think actionably the next step is educating how to get rid of all the spider webs around it that prevent you from achieving that mission.
Awesome. I hope if anybody's watching that, like, some of these personal and professional and even the channel itself resonate with you. Like, I hope some of these are some of your wins. I mean, Wes's certainly resonates with me in a lot of ways in his first opening shot there. So I'm hoping some of these give you ideas. And if nothing else, maybe there are things to shoot for next year. Like, I know of a couple things I want to do next year so that I can look back at this time and say, you know, that it's been a positive. Okay. So, Dom, thank you, brother. I will see you for question
Thank
2.
you.
I'm going to kick over to John Harden.
What's
What
going
is up, John, the German Harden, my friend indeed?
It's good
How
to
are you,
see
sir?
I'm good. I'm just hanging out. How are you?
Oh, man. You know, when I was thinking through who I wanted on this, your smile always comes to the surface for me. And I know you've got an interesting kind of view of what your new year looks like and what this year was for you. And man, I'm just going to hand it to you, brother. What are you most proud of this year, personally, professionally, and of the SMB Serving Channel?
Yeah, 2025 was kind of an end of a little era for me. So it's been a lot going on personally and professionally. To get started, I guess personally, I'll stick it with the family, right? So we have a little one at home.
That might be a thing. That might be a thing this year, right? Like,
but for personally, we have a 16-month-old, 17-month-old at home now.
Yep.
And so I've spent a tremendous amount of time, like maximize the time, cut the travel this year, big time to be there. And, I don't have a logo under my name. I've spent the last like 6-7 weeks. I've been to every freaking children's museum. And yet, I'm in the middle of a redesign, just a little bit. We're going to have a new office.
Well, hey, if he's poking, then let's poke here too. Like, Kelvin's right. Like, it was like living in the dark basement there in Dom's,
it's like the
shot,
saddest thing
man.
in the world. It really is the saddest thing in the world right now. I DM'd Wes on it. I was like, this is horrible. But it'll change in 26. New office, new year.
Yeah,
but I've spent the last 6 weeks. I've been every children's museum, every zoo, all the different things with the fam. So I've just been spending the last like couple months with the fam, and that is what I'm the most proud of personally, because that is just like way too fun. I'm loving every minute of it.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
Professionally, I launched. I kind of just like really leaned in this year on like LinkedIn and talking and speaking. Matt, you and I had a talk.
Yeah, podcast. You're a hell of an interviewer, man. I will say one of the things you do is you write very sensible questions. You know what you're going to be asking. You've thought about it. I do none of those things. I suck at interviewing. I just make it up as I go. Like, so. No.
The show is me asking questions, so like I better nail it, right? It's smart people on the other side, but. I know, right? Keep
You're getting kicked hard, bro. Like, just seriously, man.
Roll me on full screen. Roll me on full screen so you can see the glory.
Oh yeah. I got you, bro. Hold on. We can do that. We can probably make that work. No, I can't. I'm not good enough.
We can do full screen sadness.
There you go, buddy. I still can't do it. All right, I'm fired. I'm out.
That's all away. But 44 shows this year, or 44 coffee chats this year, 4 industry talks.
Yeah.
And that's probably what I'm most excited professionally about, and serving the channel as a result, right? I mean,
is it the consistency? Is it the quality of what you've gotten out of it? What makes you so proud of the professional side of that? Because I have my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I will tell you the most proud part of it is I was at a couple conferences the last couple months, and the amount of people that came up to me and been like, I've been listening to your show. I've been walking away with a lot. Like that's cool. Meanwhile, I've got like imposter syndrome. I'm like, the shows are fun, but
yeah.
It's been people coming up to me and like actually saying they were walking away.
Here's the piece I took from this and why it mattered. And now it's not like just esoteric anymore. Like, it's real.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
This, so
you're crushing it as a dad. You're crushing it as a podcast host. let's talk about what the SMB's crushing. What are you most proud about the SMB serving channel? Those MSPs and IT providers and ITSPs and blurgs, ISVs, name the letters.
I mean, I feel like I'm leaning a bit into the noise here, right? Like, I'm excited about everybody pulling AI forward and talking about AI and actually trying to look at it and experiment it. When you take people like Cooper, who are doing really amazing things. You take like the Hackin' 30 we did this year with like half the people.
That was cool. Yeah.
Everybody's leaning in on it. It's still undetermined, but I think everybody in this space really is trying to figure it out so they can care about their customers. And so that's what I'm most excited about. We're not doing it just for fun. We really do want to try to help our customers.
So kind of a change on top of the existing vote earlier about that the SMB is bringing practical solutions. Now it's like they just care about their customer, and now they're leaning in and getting those things done beyond the hype cycle. So kind of a double vote for that same kind of sentiment. It would sound.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It should be fun, man.
All right, dude. Well, listen, I'm going to leave you on the screen awkwardly. No, I'm teasing. I'll
walk away.
Right. That way people can still dig on your absolutely wonderful bear office. Like maybe it's a new thing though, like the don't show anything about my OPSEC office, right? So, all right, Tom Lawrence, let's bring it home, man, on this first question. Like, what are you most? I mean, I have some thoughts of what I would say for you if I was making this, but I want to hear what your thoughts are.
I would love you to throw that at me. I want to be knocked off my feet and have you turn what I had in my head into something else.
I don't want to do that because I know what I'm going to say, and mine's to be like what I'm going to say. You're doing well right now, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to let you go first.
I don't have I get what Dom said about separation of church and state and keeping personal, but I'm offline for any of my personal stuff, so it's also kind of hard to even talk about it.
But I talk to people while doing it unless you have the right headset or
I'm always obsessed with time. It's one of my fascinations. And I've realized I've reached, because this is December 22nd. I have now experienced 50 of them so far in my life. If I'm lucky, I got about 50 more, probably 40 realistically. So I always think about each day is what day is it? How many of these days do I have left? How many December 22nds or December 23rd or December 24th? So I've been trying to be very, very intentional. Just getting a lot more focused because I realized I've probably burned through half of my December 22nd. I've chosen to spend this one with Matt at this moment in time. Yeah, this is fun.
You know what, damn it. That's so yes. And it's easy to say this now because you've said it. So I've already wasted my opportunity to be right, but I don't care. What I was actually going to say is, like, I think just watching your course over this last year, you have absolutely taken that exact statement to heart, right? Of like, I'm going to die one day and I have X number of these days left and I need to be extremely intentional of what I'm doing with those. And it's caused you to make big changes. In fact, a lot of people on this call to make big changes. I would like to say I'm where you are next year, much in the same way of Wes. And what's funny is Wes said jealous of you, Tom, when you were saying that, while also himself having spent the year heading down the Tom direction. So like, I want to let that marinate. It's funny. I'll tell you where the let that marinate recently popped up. I went and got a colonoscopy and they were knocking me out. And this dude was like looking through these like rim thick glasses as the anesthesiologist. And he had him down like this. And he goes, I just gave you a pretty big old dose of propofol, so I'm just going to let that marinate. And that was the last thing I remember before my colonoscopy. So I digress. Anyways, so tangent. All right, so proud of you personally is really this being freaking massively intentional. And I imagine there's some crossover to professionally, Tom, for you as well in that. But what else are you proud of professionally that's separate from that?
Now, professionally, this is difficult because did I move the bar is a hard metric when you're doing education, when you're putting it out there. Sure. But seeing as my content isn't just cat videos, which people watch for entertainment value like I do, I'm actually putting out some deeper technical dives. In the last 365 days, there has been 10 million views of that content. So someone's watching it. If they're watching it, I'm hoping they're getting value out of it. And therefore,
is that just an assume? I mean, somewhat of an assumed aspect of because it is technical, because people keep watching it because of that, and I have my metrics matter. Is that a way to say it potentially?
Yeah. So, I mean, who else would watch me dive deeply into ZFS replication?
Fair. Maybe it's just the sultry voice, Tom. Maybe it's the voice.
Yeah. I don't have, I'm not Morgan Freeman. I don't have this voice. Maybe I do. I have had the comment, you put me to sleep.
So maybe that's it. It's your white
There's somebody watching it for a different reason than I intended.
Fair.
There's some ASMR going there. I also look at things like my forums where I engage with people. I mean, I've had some days where I've had as many as 20,000 people a day hitting my forums, which is a wild number I've reached. And once again, it's all very deeply technical. There's no cat pictures that I'm aware of on my forums. So if they're going there, they're going there because they want some of the technical stuff. So I can't say, did I educate the community, but I can say they must care something about the content, and I keep producing it. But I engage a lot with the community, and even right now, and by the way, I expire people who don't log in on my forums. After I think it's 100, it's a little over a year, I automatically expire your account. You have to re-register it
to my Lawrence information systems.
Yeah, if you don't log in, you're getting expired. But doing that, I have just under 6,883 active users right now. Cool. So those are fun things. I can go, okay, that's great. And a lot of engagement from the SMB community. That's feedback, talking to MSPs and everything else. It's just, you could just log back into my forums, but I do that because when I tell people, it seems to people say that may have expired. But I want to say, I don't want to just gather a number for vanity. If you're not logging in, you're not using my forums. Therefore, it's just like how any of the media companies, they might use daily active or monthly active users, because forums are kind of, you don't log in every day. It's not a chat place. It's
only if you need to type something back to somebody or ask a question.
All
right, Tom. So for personally is really just being focused. Professionally is, I mean, obviously the KPIs, the numbers for themselves speak, and I think that's a great way to measure that. And your argument probably is they're up, is the point. And,
and the LinkedIn numbers are also up. Those have been kind of fun. That's on memes.
I don't even talk about it anymore. Like I'm done. Like I can't Tom Lawrence anymore. All right. And then the last one is, what about the SMB serving channel, man? Think about, what are you proud about? You shit post more than anybody I know.
Yeah.
But what have you seen that's positive, man?
I shit post, but there's a positivity that comes out of it because it has a lot more people that have engaged me directly, engage a lot on the post going, yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Or it causes the conversation. It's the piece I really like where I want people to have like a more critical thought about it. And, I'm of two sides here because some of my posts that really blew up were me making fun of AI, but it's because, Microsoft's got some terrible ways I think they're marketing it, but there's a lot of good conversation in it. It's not just haha funny. There's like good conversations. There's 40 memes. There have been, we'll just say there are numerous engineers from Fortinet who have reached out to me. I have made a difference. There is a sales argument thing that has been made in Fortinet, which I'm really proud of. I learned it's sales objections of Tom's memes, essentially.
That's awesome.
Well, the engineers thought it was hysterical. They thought, you got to see this, Tom.
That's delicious.
This exists.
The talking points for Tom memes.
Because apparently I get brought up a lot. But and I said my goal, if Fortinet didn't have any dumb problems, I win. It's if they quit running MySQL as root, we're all better off. So if I stop making memes because they fixed it, we're good. And if they fix it because they don't want to be made fun of anymore, awesome.
Is your argument that more people are being Tom, and that's the benefit of seeing this, that they're seeing more critical reflections and thoughts about things with purpose and intent? Because you can be critical without purpose and intent.
Yeah,
that doesn't help. But is that your argument?
Oh yeah, it's always purpose and intent. I don't do it just for the ha-has. I really would like to see insert name of company I've made fun of at some point not do the stupid thing they're doing.
Sure.
I don't know how to say quit being insecure. We tried that. So if I make fun of you though, it seems like humor's like an effective way.
Yeah. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt as bad. Everybody's smiling, right?
Everyone's we're laughing with you right now.
We promise.
You're running MySQL as root. But we'd like not to laugh with you. It'd be great if you just didn't run MySQL as root.
You didn't make my jokes for me. Yeah, if I could do this myself. Awesome, Tom. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and just real quick pop through what my most proud of personally is while you're still here on the screen. And actually, we could just go back to the big view. And
bring us all back.
Everybody back in here.
Oh, John, reach out to me if you need a background.
Oh,
throw that out there.
I'm actually, dude, you better watch out. I'm gonna hit you up for my background whenever I move to a certain place. So,
yes,
we're gonna be doing some new
when you decide to revise the studio.
Brand new space. Guys, anything stand out before we transition to the last half of this? Any standouts? There was a theme. There was a self-protection theme that was very interestingly woven.
Man, we tired.
At the risk of being that guy that everybody yells at cloud vendor, I feel like the industry. Many of us have allowed the industry to take advantage of us. for better or worse. And that I think that that's fun for a while, right? Like, but then reality of everything sits in. The reality of running a company sits in. The reality of travel isn't as fun as you thought it was going to be hits, right? Like the reality of flying on United and their planes are falling apart hits, right?
Yeah,
Like
legit.
the
Yeah.
reality of all those things hit us, and at some point you're like, man, I really need this to actually matter. And
Yeah.
and at some point, talking the same message to the same room of people every time over and over because a different vendor put you there isn't actually moving the needle.
Well, I think you've said it there, friend. I mean, I think you're right. That's the best way I can say it. I think I'd say what am I most proud of personally? I've gotten to do really cool stuff and gotten to start thinking about my life in a way that's very much like Tom's, in the sense that, what does a protected Matt life look like in 2026? And so I'd say, while I haven't really accomplished it this year, I feel like I've accepted it this year for next year. And so I know that's a little cheating because I'm looking at
You're fixing to get ready. It's okay. We're all there.
That's right. I'm fixing to get ready. That's exactly right. I'm not ready yet. I'm fixing to get ready at this point. Yeah. But anyways, I'll share more about that next year. But I will say that the one I'm most proud of professionally is probably cybersecurity boot camp as a modality of teaching. I just don't think there's anything I've ever experienced. And I don't brag much, so this is my one little time to do it. I don't think I've experienced anything that combines the teaching and fun and technical elements in a way, even though my partially executed C+ of an execution was still something neat and better and different. So I'm proud of that professionally. Dom's part of that. Jason's part of that. There's a whole lot of people who are part of making that event happen. So that was pretty neat.
It's definitely one of the most fun events to work at too. Like it's
the
least
worst
stuff
ROI out there. Like I can't imagine.
I don't think so.
Human
I don't
hours.
think it is.
The boot camp? No,
Yeah.
not even a little bit.
Okay, fair.
I mean,
It's
I
a lot of hours.
got a lot of text messages
Yeah.
from vendors that are like, "Yo, do more of these." So
Actually, I'll let Kelvin pop is. He's really proud of having done some DIY at conferences, fixing when. Touche. All right, I should have read that first. That's good. Too inside a joke. I won't go there. But yeah, touche. My piece of what am I most proud of the channel? I would echo some of y'all's statements, maybe in a little different way. I said this at the beginning of last year. I believe the maturity of the channel is rising. I believe that you're seeing economic factors drive some out that shouldn't be here. I see people growing and asking questions, even to your point, Dom, of people are asking for more advanced things. And, Tom and Wes, even on the kind of statements about people trying to make it something valuable and viable. I think people are getting more mature. Maybe I'm just choosing to be hopeful and believe that. But that's what I think I'm proud of, the growth in the channel and the pushback and understanding of getting what is real security. Like I actually questioned at some point, am I teaching things that people need to know? By comparison, are they starting to rise enough in tide that they know the basics, that they're getting the understandings of frameworks, that they're getting some of these things for their world? So I'd like to think I become a little less relevant this year. And I think that's a good thing. So yeah. Cool.
And as things shift, are there things that we aren't teaching that we need to start teaching?
In that
because
question.
maybe we don't need to teach some of the things as much that are such big parts of the corpora in general.
And who should the people be that we need to be bringing into those conversations that we're not? So, I mean, I think this year we've seen a lot of new folks sort of like enter the scene, so to speak.
Yep.
That have added so much more than any of us in this group could add to.
Oh, isn't that awesome? Do I feel like that old man on the porch, like the retiring athlete or something? Like I feel like don't get me wrong. I agree. There's tons of new faces and voices like every day. It's awesome. All right, we've got 20-ish minutes left. Let's go through the next one. For everybody that's watching, I've allowed each of these people to pick whatever they want to talk about from Move the Needle in this next question. So I'm just going to jump over, see who we lose, see what the order is, and we'll go through it. So, all right, let's go. All right, let's see what the order is this time. It is still the same order, Matt. You're an idiot. Of course it is. All right, cool. Let's turn off the other people. Dummy. All right, same order. Ash, how has the needle been moved for blank this year? Like pick blank and talk about how it's moved.
Okay, well, I think that we have, because of AI in a lot of ways, and so I'll use AI as the example.
That's your
have
blank.
been bringing people closer to the problems by bridging the knowledge gap in a lot of ways. And so to the same point that you were talking about where like we're now seeing more people who are like dealing with, oh, we have to teach them these things, we have to educate them on these things. Like there's less things that are blockers in our way these days. And so like the example that I could give is, when Kelvin and I were trying to like go through the bridge code and recreate the bridge for Slack to Discord, we had access to ChatGPT 3 and a small context window, and we could only paste a little bit of code in at a time. And now we could literally plug in an entire code base and have it train itself on it and like give us in-depth information. And so we are surfacing obstacles that used to exist, that used to be part of our assumption of obstacles, that now no longer are obstacles. And so we have to teach these other people who have naturally been just filtered out of the equation because they could never pass those obstacles, but now they're not there. So now we have to think about, okay, what are these other ways of learning? What are these other things that help you understand these concepts? Like maybe GitHub needs to be less of thought about like a developer thing, right? Like I started the year with 3 repos, which were forks of like SIP and stuff. And I have 118 now,
Then maybe your blank is actually barriers to entry.
Yeah,
Like
I guess.
maybe your blank is, how has the needle moved in barriers to entry? Like I can go and relatively confidently go search something, understand something new, learn context about something with AI. And to your point, you went into an example of code bases and the expanding context window capabilities that allow for larger and larger and more complex code base understanding. But that's just an example of it getting better. The removal is now I can just examine code.
It's the meso layer, like we're making it more accessible. We're building more elbow joints, more connective tissue.
I just pictured a really weirdly armed human when you said that. Like extra elbow joints would get really wonky.
Elbow joints everywhere, like those connect kind of like things when you're a kid.
All right, then yours is we've moved the needle on barriers to entry, and your argument would be that predominantly we've removed more of them, at least from a knowledge or capability sets perspective, right? Like that's kind of
we're bridging the gap closer. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, and I'm not sure why, but we got a fingers crossed, so I'm in. I think that's I'll hope for the positive side of fingers crossed as well on this. And Ash, I sure appreciate you, and we'll bring you back to close out the show here in a few if we have a few minutes left. So Wes, next up, let's go. What's your blank, man? And you can stumble into your blank. What I love is that Ash did the reverse order blank finding, and that's what I love about her brain. Or you come with a blank already pre-filed, or you're gonna fill it in with the words and find your blank, man.
I think I'm gonna suss this one out with you if I can. Let's see if we can unpack it, because I'm leaning towards this. I had multiple kind of things I jotted down, but the one I think resonates with me the most is I think we've realized for us in the channel that we can't be the adult in the room if we're not willing to act like the adult in the room. And so here's what I mean by that, right? Like a long time ago, we, as an MSP, it's like, well, I'm helpful, I'm responsive, I'm flexible, I can help you with all these things. But I think that world while it's still here, I think it's starting to erode in lieu of MSPs having to be far better at how do I help you as a business do what you want to do? So like John Hart and I, for example, when we did this AI talk at IT Nation, it was so good, so enjoyable. And I think the big thing we drove towards was, if you're not in daily conversations with your clients of what they're trying to do, how they're trying to get there, and what your role is to help them get there, you're missing out. And so things like talking to the efficiency of the company, things like understanding the finances and where we're trying to go.
All of that, like actually understanding how they make money and all the things. So is your backing in, and did you just like pull my string on purpose of the needle's being moved and getting deeper in the business with the client? That's the needle that's being moved right now in a positive way?
Yes, as evidenced by, I've had so many conversations with people of this, of like, I think managed services will always be around, but good MSPs are going to sink deeper and deeper and deeper into professional services, into consulting agreements, into project revenue, all of these things that say, if you really want to grow and skill up and build better and more revenue, that's the way the world is going, more towards this.
When it's been, let's just get this right. Let's say we just focused on the RPA enablement capabilities of AI. Let's just say that's what we're going to focus on, that subset. I still have to know the company. I still have to know what makes money. I still have to understand the pieces. I still have to understand the blockers. I still have to understand the human processes. I still have to understand all the things. And so your argument is that the needle is getting moved because of these commoditization forces. Maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but also because of this deep want and desire to make myself better with AI and as a trigger, that's driving all these other things that are forcing you to get deeper in the business to already deal with some of the commoditization.
That's right. That's exactly it.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. So we walked that one together, Wes Spencer. You've moved on and given us time back for our day. So anybody that disagrees, put it in the chat and give me some thoughts. We got a couple 100%. Wes, thank you so much. Let's kick over to Jason and let's see what his spicy question number 2 is. Love you too, brother. Be right back. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Hi. I'm going to be the jerk here that goes relatively negative with this. I think the media's been moved on security, and I think it's been moved incorrectly. And the thing is that like I don't.
Are you just hesitating, not saying backwards? Like,
yeah,
incorrectly,
like,
but I want more
a little bit, right?
That,
so,
like,
we entered this year, right, like with doom and gloom and like there are all sorts of security things, and honestly this year hasn't really notably been super better than any years before it. Like we've literally had like weekly or near weekly FortiGate or Sonic Wall or Cisco or any we've had, much to Tom's anger, we've had a Ubiquity one, right? Like we've had badness that has happened this year, and yet it seems like now more than ever, no one's talking about it. It seems like all of the new hot has moved on from security to AI. And we had a Signal chat where we were talking about this this live stream today, and I kind of called this out. And I know Wes wants to come on to discuss this at the end if we have time. But like the reality of it is that I feel like the MSPs are largely driven as to what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're selling by what their vendors tell them they should be doing, what their vendors tell them they should be saying, what their vendors tell them they should be selling. And I wondered if we had reached peak commoditization of security, but I don't think that's it. I think that the reality of it is that the vendors are pitching, the vendors are guiding, and the vendors are encouraging us to sell the things that raise them money.
Are you arguing that because the fire hose has shifted, that the discussion and the kind of nascence of it,
the multipliers have shifted away from security and they've moved to AI?
I joke, but I made a meme about that. It was something where I made a meme of being in that meme of the guy and the girl passing another girl on the sidewalk, right? Of security being that, and that everything's go to AI and everything's AI. If you want to get a talk accepted, you better have AI in it.
And like that's okay. But like, let's not pretend that security doesn't still exist, right? Like we were at a.
If anything, it's inflated by a lot with AI coming into the picture.
And that AI doesn't make the problem worse.
Yeah. It's like
right. I have
lane.
Data protection privacy concerns in many cases as far as access to their data. I don't even care about the models training on it, whatever. Like that's a whole different problem that we can. Let's solve the first problem, and then we can worry about the fact that maybe your data shows up in a model later. Like the likelihood of that happening is so low that
let's not get down that path.
But
we can spend a lot of time on it.
We still haven't figured out DLP. We still haven't figured out any of those things. Now we're giving agents to like write access to things that have no flipping clue what they're doing. And our vendors are all like, this is great. Everyone needs to be doing AI. And well, I don't disagree. I believe that most of us need to be doing AI. I disagree with the fact that it has supplanted security as one of the most important things that most small businesses do. And I think for that reason, this is the year that should expose to most of us how the sausage is actually made at a lot of the companies that sell us things in the space. Like they care about you, but only in so much that you can get them the highest valuation possible.
Yeah. Well, I two comments to pull real quick. I know we're going to run out of time. Vendors have a parental obligation to MSPs they're not living up to. We're getting Kirkland brand parents. Like,
no, it's not even Kirkland brand. It's Sam's Choice.
Sam had a choice.
Let's not pretend it's the good discount warehouse. This is the Walmart branded.
And I'll also add like Perfect Bliss in here. Cool name. I don't actually know. That's
Ashley.
Oh, it's Ash. Duh. Okay, fair. That checks out. You don't build a house assuming you can prevent winter. You build it to accommodate reality. Winter will come. Of course. Like, what a brilliant comment from the audience. Yeah. They should be on the show. Oh wait, she's on the show. I forgot. That's Ash. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're great value parents, right? To your point. Yeah. So the argument then, Jason, is that security has potentially And I don't know if I see it as taking a back step or if it's just not getting the fanfare and having the conversation about it like it was before because of that, to your argument of move the needle in that way. Would there be a possibility of the argument, Jason, that people are getting better at dealing with those incidents? And while 3 years ago we would have been screaming terrified about a vulnerability in a product, we literally now have paths in process and place to deal with it at a larger scale basis. I'm asking a question.
I'm
I don't know
actually
if I believe
thinking
it.
back. I'm thinking back. I would say 80 to 90% of the first top of funnel customers that I talk to are still running business standard or business basic.
Yeah.
And
So
until
no.
that is no longer the
So
case,
the short answer
we
is
still
no.
have the needle to move.
Okay. All right. Fair. The strongest vote for business premium anybody's ever made. All right, Jason, thank you so much. Dom, what are you following up with, buddy? What's your blank? And apparently it's not good lights. It's not lights.
It's not good. Listen, I have the light. They're literally under my desk. All right. I just got to get the mounts and the
Sorry, Kelvin,
logistics are hard in December, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think mine's nuanced. I think the needle has moved like wickedly far forward on technology, right? AI is moving just if you take the word technology, AI has moved it at a speed that like none of us can really match.
For sure.
Which moves every other needle backwards. Right, to Jason's point, the security conversation is being unseated by the AI conversation, but the AI technologies make security much worse because AI companies aren't paid to make secure things; they're paid to make cool things.
MCP, right? It was the third release of the MCP that finally had authorization.
Yeah,
we need
we
gotta make sure you. Oh shit, let's do that.
And so it's a little bit terrifying. And I'm excited about the technology piece, and I'm really trying to adopt and use and get good at the technology piece. But we're really trying to understand how do we drive this readiness conversation and almost force it before you go and kill yourself trying to implement AI and solve problems that you may or may not even have. Because to Wes's point, nobody's even had a business conversation with you to understand if you have that problem. So. I guess needles are going both ways.
What's the needle on though? What's our blank, Dom? What's our blank that we're distilling here?
It's I don't know, technology and business technology, right? And everything underneath it. And I think if you add it all up and you give it a submarine needle, it's probably going a little bit backwards, right? Not in the fact that there's not new opportunity, but in the fact that we're chasing new opportunity at the expense of safety and sustainability. And
I would tend to agree. I mean, I do some consulting for a particular city, and one of the biggest things is fighting off the data center vendors and the people who want to come and be a new data center here. And I say that to say, like, to your point, we haven't thought about water, sustainability, power management, any of the things, but we're delving head first into it. So by that proxy technology, maybe taking a bit of a step backwards. I would agree. I think this year, while we are seeing more practical things come out of AI and the value of AI, there's a lot of turds too. And a lot of that still computes and still takes power and still takes electricity. And anyways,
so the spicy thing I'll put on my blog, hopefully before New Year, is I think 60 to 80% of AI startups die in the next X. I don't know what X is, but the bubble will pop and most of these little point solutions will die and platforms will integrate them. Which is
or
what
reinvent them.
Yeah.
And Jason says too low in the private chat.
And we need to have that, right? Some of these little companies need to die. A lot of them do. So I'm optimistic about the bubble pop.
I love your background comment because I can't tell if they're being like totally cheeky.
I mean, look, there's more stuff in mine. It's just not well lit. All right.
And Jason said in private chat, right? Facebook was the third generation of social media, right? There were others. I mean, MySpace was hot and popping, bro.
MySpace was way better.
All right, fair. I said dumb words there, but I will. All right, Dom, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we'll come back in the wrap up here in just a few minutes. Let's go over to John Harden. Here we go. John, buddy, what blank do you want to talk about vis-a-vis the just exposition of a needle?
I am a little upset that Wes went first because him and I are just like lockstep on that one. That's exactly where I was going.
All right, well, we'll put your name as a byline on that one, and we'll say that you guys are right. You're good, but we'll add another one here. So what else, man? You get to that.
Anything Wes Spencer says, just byline it.
I'll take it on that deal. I'll byline Wes Spencer as just an auto byline. I'm good.
Yeah, I think realistically, it's I try to get it. It's participating in the business. That's maybe the deal that's moving.
That's a great way to distill that. Like being in the business, participating as a member of their business, to your point.
Yeah, the ones that are focusing just on technology, they're kind of capped in growth. and it's the ones that are going to be moving into the business process side and the business, I guess, and what makes the needle actually move is going to be a big year in 2026 for the. Look, I'll give Pax8 their reps, like MIP, right? At least somebody's defined it so that there feels like a difference to Chase instead of just being an MSP who does something different. Like there's an actual definable difference in what's out there.
Do you feel like some of this is debt, John? Like we should have already been deeper in the business? I know you and I've had our private conversations about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like the amount of people that I've talked to that are like, oh, what's a QBR? What's a TBR? I don't care what acronym you throw at it. You should be talking to your customers about their business on a regular cadence. But maybe that's it, right? Maybe it's moved the needle forward on like those quarterly business reviews. If that's all it does, like that's a pro for the end clients, because we all know you can't be just making technology decisions in a vacuum. It can't just be, here's my stack, here's what I do, here's where I stop. Good luck
but
with
I don't want to take away from what you're saying a little bit though, because in the past, I needed to set up a SQL server and install this third-party line of business software and then hand it to them to do their thing. That meant that I was just making toilets. They did the rest of the work, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so now I'm actually, that's a terrible analogy. So let's shift from that one because it doesn't scale. Well. It's really bad. It goes really bad if I go to the next phase of this because now I have to help them make it, and that's not good. So like, but the point is like, you now are seeing like, I'm coming to your business saying, I really, really need to understand how you deal with these things so that I can come up with a solution that will come up together. Anytime you're doing RPA or AI implementations, you're going to have to know about their work and their business flow. And so I actually genuinely believe it's not even just this kind of like allow me to have a quarterly business review. It's like I need to actually understand them or I'm going to suck and I'm not going to do well for them and they're not going to do well. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's yeah.
I was at a conference a couple weeks ago or a month ago at this point now where they were like, who's going to be the next mini Accenture? Right. And, you know, Chill TP talking about putting FDEs out there and an MSP. Like it's just a whole different world's going to shift in 26 around it. I don't think every MSP has to do it personally. That's maybe my hot take.
Okay. All right.
Has to do it. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of, you talk to MSPs, you talk to them, their customers, like half their customers just maybe don't even want it. They're not ready for it. Like I'm not saying that they have to do it. So if there's a laggards that can be served and they don't want maybe business process automation shoved down their throat. They don't want to fire Dave in accounting. Like keep business running. So I don't know. I think that's probably what's moved the needle the most is they're actually having this conversation, whether they do it or not, it's the whole next stage. But they're at least talking to them about it.
I'll put you with the Wes Spencer categorization of that answer together of being deeper in the business. And I would also agree. I mean, wholeheartedly. So Jason's son's watching our live stream. What's up, Jacob? I'll shout out. What up, homie? Actually, is that too much OSINT? We'll call him Jay Slagle instead. That's on me. Jay Slagle. That's on me. I already failed. All right, look at Jason mad at me. All right, John. All right. He's kidding. He doesn't hide. I'll see you in a bit when we wrap up here in just a few. Tom, let's wrap us up, buddy. All right, Tom, what needle?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I have like a few things I want to talk about.
Go.
I got to pick one.
2.5 minutes, man. Yeah. I'll you pick one. We'll go.
Is open source allowed to be in there? Is that?
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's talk about the difference between what AI does for an open source type project. Holy shit. I've released like 12 open source things this year myself.
Yeah. And I think just bigger picture, people are thinking a lot more about that. Every year it goes up. The whole topic I did with my friends over at 45 Drives was this whole cloud tipping point thing. And we're seeing people go, this may not make a lot of sense. This may not be the best way to store our data in these places. And they're almost amazed that we can build it locally. So I've been doing a lot more of that. And it's wild. Some of the projects that I have that are upcoming that are all locally hosted for clients that I'm working on, just getting them out of the cloud. And also at the same time, open source is the bigger topic because they're sick of the rug pulls. They're sick of the, the word that actually started in 2023, but is equally used now in shitification of these companies where they lock you in.
I've used it recently on a post.
It's in companies are large companies because the job in the C-suite is to mitigate risk. And one thing, thank you VMware for doing this. They showed the real risk of closed source software because VMware got bought. The licenses went substantially through the roof and people go, my risk mitigation is broken. I suddenly have to pay substantially more. My budget is
Maybe this
ruined.
whole Proxmox thing sounds like a good egg, right?
Exactly.
Like is the
So we've
delineation.
seen massive growth in 2 different hypervisors that are both open source. It's not just one, but 2 that simultaneously had growth with XCP-ng and Proxmox both. Proxmox just on December 4th released a new data center manager, which is pretty cool. They're building these things to address that. Storage has been, crazy in terms of some of the stuff I've been doing, where companies are using and building on open source storage, and it's all because of this. And then when more people see, I actually have had a great conversation in the last couple of weeks with a developer, and it piqued his brain. So he's decided, instead of those things he's been kind of talking to me about, he wants to open source all of it, and he kind of understands it a little better. He's got some cool things he wants to write in the MSP space, and I have some meetings coming up with him, and he wants to give it all away. He wants to follow my theory and put it to test. I said, yes, let's build this as an idea.
Well, let's pause that one as a full because I have another live stream starting right now, and so it's mine. So I can be late.
I can go on forever about that.
Yeah, we're good. But I do think there's a conversation, and the point is that the barrier to entry, even with open source, is changing too.
Yeah.
I mean, great example of Olama, for example. Like, that's a fantastic open source methodology for me to run models locally.
Oh yeah.
And that would cost me something or have more risk or different implications other places. So I'll give you that. On this year has moved the needle on that.
Locally run models are awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's bring everybody back for 5 seconds and let's close out. I think if I'm y'all, you get to see how good I am at this. Let's say Ash next, then Jason, then Dom. I'm my own producer, so y'all just make fun of me. It's cool. All right, y'all. Any closing thoughts? Let's go around the room. I'm going to start with Ash, and we'll go around from there and come back to Tom, wrapping it up. Ash, anything to say about your reflections on 2025?
I think that we're going to be seeing the rise of the non-developer developers.
Oh yeah, that's a free. That's like
scary.
You're 100% right, Ash. Like you just stole like the #1 bingo points in this one. I don't think there's points for bingo, so I don't care. Ash, thank you. Wes, next.
If I were a surfer, which clearly I'm not, I would have been swallowed by the wave over and over and over and over again this year, and then finally towards October, November, December started to hit the wave and catch it. Right, like that's kind of what happened. I feel like this year. I think next year we're going to see some tumultuous, wild things that may happen. I would predict that we're going to see some hyperbole come back to haunt some of the larger AI providers.
I would agree.
And we'll see kind of what happens in the market. It's going to be, I think, a very interesting Q2.
This is our January predictions show.
Sorry, it's just part and parcel together.
Keep it for later. Keep it for later. That's another show. We're going to do it another way.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Ash, right? However, that we will see that this is the rise of the non-developer developer, right? However, I would generally say that as software development has moved from something that required traditional computer science required to tinkering to front-end developers being the only one to being able to do back-end stuff to now AI, the quality of the code that has been produced has gone down over time. And we will continue to see that, which will have security implications. And to her point, it is on us to educate them and to help prevent that. However, it is the thing. My little tagline says, "Old man yells at cloud vendor," and this is very apropos here.
I agree. I will get back to the code stuff. I do want to have a follow-up show to this potentially. Dom, continue.
We have to do our show. We should talk about that on the AI one.
That is our show. We haven't had that show in a while.
We have a whole show about AI. We should talk about this.
One for this. Okay, Dom, go.
Oh man, Wes, I liked your comment about getting swallowed by. I'm not a surfer either, but having been swallowed by the wave several times, and that's going to continue. Right, we're in this curve of technology that's just really damn hard. Right. And especially if you care about security and you care about the safety and the sustainability, but even if not, it's really hard. And I've kind of realized that this year. I've never had such a difficult time trying to keep up with what's happening than I have this year. So for anyone who feels the same way, I guess you're not alone. We're all getting swallowed up by ocean waves here. But keep pushing and yes, do teach what you know so that these citizen developers, as Microsoft would like me to call them,
developers.
Citizen
that
developers.
Sounds important. That would send me on a tangent about citizen hackers, but let's not get into that conversation.
Those are great too. But well,
all right, John, what's up, buddy? We'll round it out and then we'll finish up with Tom Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, I'd echo with Ashley. It's kind of terrifying seeing some of the code these these engines output. It's actually really good code quality, by the way, Jason. I wouldn't disregard its code quality. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not contextual.
It's not. Yes, like the problem doesn't come to quality. It comes down to what it actually builds and what it doesn't.
Yeah.
build.
Well, yeah. I mean, so you've slapped together a program that's got 15 development paradigms and like in
Yeah.
Now you're just
world.
worried about whether the hooks
you
have
mean
the depth and you're going to crash your browser.
My hello world has a circuit breaker pattern.
Hey, those paradigms are really well done. No.
Yeah. Fair. That's awesome.
All right, my 25 thing. I'll say 10xers are becoming 100xers, and that's kind of changes things a little bit. And then I would say,
For sure.
somebody said, I think it was you, Cooper. You were just DMing. You said something's the new economy or the new. I don't know. I can't follow. But I was gonna go with vision is the new value. Like being able to take a vision and have AI run and execute it is now one of the highest value things out there.
Yeah, the 100x is a pretty poignant point. I don't know if we're quite there, but I will say it's coming. Yeah. Okay. You can
What are your
disagree
other
with me,
lives?
John. You look like you didn't want to disagree, but you're good, man.
No, I mean, you look at Base 44, Solopreneur, $44 million in a
true.
year.
Yeah. Oh, you mean 100x in value, not necessarily 100x in actual long-term value. Sorry.
Yeah, 100x in money given, not 100x in
I'm teasing,
100x in
John. I'm
societal
messing with you.
value.
I think
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I'm done teasing my friend John. Okay,
That's
I'm
all
trying to pull his string. It's okay, I still love you. All right, I'm gonna go be late for my other stream. Thank you all for being here. We've got Brett Chittum saying it was an awesome way to end the year. I thought it was fun. Go, John.
I
Sorry,
agree.
and Tom Lawrence. One more. Sorry, one more. Thank
One
you for
more.
that point. Yeah, that's
It's
one more. Terrible.
Never been a time, speaking of education and all that, it's never been an easier time to share all the knowledge you have and tell people they suck at coding and they can be better if you did this thing here. So take advantage of that. The tools are so easy to get publishing done. The tools are out there. The platforms are easy to push your content out there. Get out there and do it. That's my 2025 going into 2026. Share that knowledge.
Love
Want
it.
people to be better? Teach them how to be better.
That goes back to the more voices right now. People are feeling empowered. If my stupid four-eyed, I can't point eyes in the same direction human is going to get up and get on the damn stage, you can too. So I would agree. There's never been easier to share what you know. So awesome. Thank y'all so much for being here. Appreciate y'all always saying yes. I don't know why you do, but thank y'all. All right.